Hey everybody, so I got a lot of questions on doing Airbnb in Miami. Specifically, people want to know about the zoning in Miami Dade County. I'm going to walk you through the website really quick. So let's go through it together. Miami Dade County has a short-term rental ordinance. You can view the whole ordinance there, but I am going to read out what it says on the website. Miami-Dade County classifies a short-term vacation rental as any dwelling unit or residence in a condo, an apartment building that, or even just a single family that is rented. They have complete standards in section 33-28 of the Miami-Dade County Code of Ordinance, and it is the responsibility of all property owners in unincorporated Miami-Dade County or their respective parties who wish to rent out their homes for short periods of time to know and comply with all the requirements of the ordinance. What this is saying right here is that if you are buying a property, it is your job to understand this ordinance, not your realtors. It is your responsibility or your property manager. If you're not going to be renting out the home, your property manager needs to know all of this. Let's read through and we'll break it down. Number one, you have to have your property registered with the state of Florida. I have another video that I talk about the licensing, but first you need to be licensed with the state of Florida and apply with the Department of Revenue. So you need to get your tourist tax account, because any person or business who rents or leases any accommodations for less than 6 months, you're required to register and pay your taxes. The second thing that you need to do is you need to obtain a CU, a certificate of use. And this is something that gets posted in a spot in the rental, so that can be behind a door, or like normally when you check in a hotel, behind the door. Same thing here, and you may need to go through an inspection for the property. That means that you need to have your smoke detectors working, you need to have your fire extinguishers working, all of that stuff. Now let's talk about the regulations. So you have to comply with these regulations in Miami-Dade County. So there are maximum occupancies. So up to a maximum of 12 person, it says, 2 people per bedroom. You must have a responsible party on site in certain areas. So if you are in, it says right here, properties designated as an estate or low density residential, then you have to be actually residing in the property for 6 months, or a responsible party has to technically be on site for 6 months. Now, if you are outside of a estate or low density residential area, then this does not apply to you. Also, another thing, sexual offender and sexual predator. You are required to obtain confirmation of a nationwide search from the Miami-Dade County Police Department or other law enforcement agency that people who are renting your property out are not a convicted sexual predator. This is super important, that if you are thinking about even getting started, you don't have to be an expert on all these rules, but you need to know them, and it's probably worth it to go through and read this page a couple different times. After that, swimming pools. This is very important. If you have a swimming pool, you need to have some type of safety feature, whether that be a fence or a lock or an alarm. Something has to be there to prevent kids from just wandering in the pool and getting hurt or getting into trouble. Again, you must follow all residential requirements. So anything with trash, if there's a certain trash pickup day and you need to bring your trash bins in, if there's any noise complaints, if you have too many people parking on the street and you're not supposed to be parking on the street, all of these things should be covered in your rules when the guest is going to book your property. You should spell these out in the rules so that there's no surprises. Talking about enforcement, on the website, they do have different tiers of enforcement. So if you want to list your property and you're not going to follow the rules and you're not going to do a certificate of use, first offense is $100. Second offense is $1,000. If that happens within 2 years, they'll give you a $1,000 fine. And then if you are not in compliance still after the third offense, they will keep increasing the penalties. They could even put a lien on the property, which could be preventative from you selling it. So overall, what I highly recommend is that if you're looking to do short-term rentals in Miami-Dade County, go to this website. I'll link it in the show description below. And then last thing I want to talk about is the zoning map and how you can figure out what type of land use is the property in. So we're going to click on this hyperlink that's going to take us to the land use map. We're going to click on existing land use, and then we're going to copy and paste an address. Right? We're going to zoom in. We're going to click on the address and the folio number. Scroll down to where it says land use. And right here is the land use. Here's the zoning, and here's what it is zoned as. It does not say anything about state or low density residential, which leads me to believe that Airbnb would be allowed in this neighborhood. If you have any questions about getting started purchasing an Airbnb property down here in Miami, I would love to chat with you. In the show description below, you'll find a link for a discovery call. We can chat for 15 minutes and we can talk about what type of property would be best for your real estate goals. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.